Hello, my sped guns, it is I, Art of Blood, the ghoul next door, your favorite ghoul fiend. And I said I'd be back in the middle of November with what was probably going to be a tarot card reading, so here I am with the tarot card reading. And we're going to try to keep this short too. Let's just see, right now as I'm taping this, it is the middle of November and we are in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. Oh, okay. All right, put that there. Let's see, what do we have? You guys see? Sort of. Okay. Sort of, see? I'll hold each card up, don't worry about it. Okay. So, the Seven of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Swords, Seven of Wands, the Death card, and the King of Wands. Okay, so the Seven of Wands, or I'm sorry, the Seven of Pentacles is a card of timing, of waiting, of nurturing. The Chariot is about movement. It's about balance, two energies, two forces having to work together. It's also about looking under the surface. The Wheel of Fortune is about seasons changing and things coming around. Literally fortune, but seasons as well coming around. The Ace of Swords, that's cutting away the crap. That's also a great force in love and hate, but all aces are the start of something new. Swords are all about communication and thoughts. The, what did I say, seven? Seven of Wands. It's been a long day. Seven of Wands. That is kind of holding your own, even though you've got a lot of pushback. Death card, that's about endings, beginnings, and rebirth. And the King of Wands, that's making a decision. And wands are passion and creativity and movement. So we've got, between the Seven of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Chariot, this is all about movement. Then you have the cards of timing here. The Seven of Pentacles, sorry. I just keep wanting to call that wands for some reason. The Seven of Pentacles, the Wheel, and the Death card, they're all about movement and timing. So we almost have a, I want to say a standstill, simply because we do have a card of waiting and a card of endings and beginnings, but we've got like rapid movement here. You could technically say rapid movement with both of these. And it's interesting that the Ace of Swords, which is cutting through the crap, a great force in love and hate, a champion, but a new beginning, it's smack dab in between the cards here. It's almost like it's our balancing factor. Okay, so let's get a little something on the on that Ace of Swords. Okay, what do we have? We have, and I pulled them this way, so we have the Hangman, and we have the Page of Pentacles. I'm going to put them right there. So the Hangman is a card of standing still, of a stalemate. It's also a sacrifice and a new perspective and new knowledge. Ironically, the Page of Pentacles is a card of learning and of messages. So we have truth, new knowledge, new perspective, and learning messages. So there's some sort of information coming in, or a realization. Do I think it's a realization, or do I think it's a new bit of information? Well, I suppose you could look at them both the same way. A new piece of information can cause a new realization. But we do have a card of decision making. So I almost want to say that it is a realization, a personal realization. Then we have the Knight of Swords. I'm going to put that, where does it feel? Feel it needs to go there. The Knight of Swords is like literally the fastest moving card in the deck, and it is the energy of just going for it, just jumping in, damn the consequences. So you have a card here of looking under the surface, and then you've got a card of rapid decision, damn the consequences. They almost feel to me like they're in butting heads. That's the energy I get from this. Like the fact that the look under the surface is right beside the waiting, the timing. That's almost as if I get the feeling like whatever the situation is, you have to kind of take a step back and think about every little detail. But then you've got this, let's rush in and just make a decision for the sake of making a decision, which kind of falls in line with this one here, which is a card of decision making. I want to take a little bit of a look here on the Death card. Two cards again. We have the Devil card, which in this deck is called the Shadow Side, and the Ten of Wands, which is the Ten of Wands is a card of like endings and not seeing the forest for the trees, and just having this burdensome, is that even a word? But yeah, not seeing the forest for the trees because you're so tunnel vision. And then of course the Death card, the Devil card, I don't know why I called it the Death. The Devil card, or in this case the Shadow Side, that is a card of bad habits and restrictions, whether they be self-imposed or otherwise. And it's also a card of like being bound to something, whether that's an idea or an actual physical contract. So clearly, if you're just looking at these three cards here, then you've got the end of a contract or the end of a burden. The end of a burden feels a little bit more in line than just the end of a contract. So the end of a burden, something that whoever this is for, you must have been very tunnel vision about something. Maybe taking on if it's a work situation, possibly taking on your work, your boss's work, your co-worker's work, and just being like, okay, I'll do it all for everybody. know how that feels. Does that feel right? I almost get the idea of like, and maybe it's because of the image on this card where they're kind of, they're holding their eyes, they're fearing the light, they're fearing what is in the shadows. I almost get the idea of just wanting to close off, not wanting to be in the spotlight. And again, that could just be because of the image. That could just be the image on the card that I'm getting here. The idea of silently taking on everyone's work because you want to keep the peace. Want to keep the peace. Okay, why do I have that feeling? We have the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is about balance, and it's about making a decision. So we come back to the idea of a decision here. Okay, I'm going to shuffle again. Again, I only grabbed one deck. I have a wall of decks, and I only ever grab one when I do these for some reason. Ooh, okay. That's a lot. We have the Lovers. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the King of Cups, the Fool, and the Page of Cups. Okay, so the Lovers, that can literally represent lovers or a choice. We have the Knight of Wands, which is also a fast-moving card, and that is, again, kind of running in without really thinking things through, but it's a card of great passion, whether that passion be lust, love, emotions, or creativity. We have the King of Cups, which is about trying to hold your emotions in when you can't. So I'm going to say, because these two are sitting next to each other, that this is rushing in with a great passion of emotion. The Fool, which is starting a new journey and kind of following your heart. And the Page of Cups, again, that's a card of messages, but usually a message of love or a message of creativity. And it's not being able to hold your emotions in. So in the first half of this, we had cards about making a decision and kind of rushing forward, not taking the time to kind of look things over or let things kind of grow naturally. And now we have, now we have making a choice and kind of going on extreme emotion. So the question is, why? What bliss are we following? What beginning are we taking? It's a great question. The Six of Wands, and that's a card of success and public declaration. I always get a little bit of the idea of pride. I know that pride and envy aren't connected to this card, but I always have that impression when I see the Six of Wands, no matter what deck it is. I almost want to say that the Fool is representing an actual fool, like someone who is kind of blinded to the situation around them, and they're just kind of not naively doing. Naive comes to mind, like just, but there's that idea of pride. Almost like they're going to publicly announce something and then be like, oopsie, I shouldn't have done that, type of thing. I want to know more about this King. I know I said I wanted to keep this short, and I'm already gone over the time frame I want it. we'll pull that one. Oh, we got the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a card. I call her my Martha Stewart card. Someone who's like this domestic goddess. She's a card of, well, domestic bliss and comfort, and domestic comfort of enjoying your home and being good at being a homemaker and being good at being taking care of your family and the crafts you're into and your passions. And she's a card of security and just self bliss. So for her to kind of, because I had said I'd like to find out a little more about this King of Cups. So for her to come in with the King of Cups, even though it's a king and queen, they're not of the same suit, but they're compatible. I would say she's kind of, if the King of Cups is representing not being able to keep your emotions in anymore, and the Queen of Pentacles is more balanced, she's okay with things, her emotions are in check, and she's very secure, very confident. It's almost like a grounding energy. Almost as if she's kind of, or I should say, the king energy has made his big proclamation, and she's kind of tempered, the Queen of Pentacles has kind of tempered his emotions a little bit. Now, the first half also had cards of knowledge. Since the Six of Wands is a card of public declaration, and we do have the Page of Cups, which is messages, I'm daring to say that whoever this is for, you're going to find yourself in a very public situation, whether you intend to or not. Whether that be on the internet or otherwise. I want to say offline in the real world, where you're going to find yourself, maybe you get a promotion and you find yourself at the center of a speech or something that you didn't think you'd ever have to have. That's like one thought that's coming to my head, but I almost want to read these two together as one energy. And I don't necessarily want to say a secret's coming to the surface, because I don't quite get that kind of a thought from this, but I get I kind of want to say, that there is going to be this revelation that leads you to, I don't want to say a smugness, but at the same time I do. That makes no sense. It makes sense when you're looking at the cards, but it doesn't make sense when you say it out loud. Oh, aren't I a great reader? I'm fabulous. Who is that Six of Wands? The Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is about destitution and not quite having enough and not knowing when to ask for help when you need help, or being too stubborn. Okay, I don't know what that was, but that was a loud noise. Just as I was saying the words too stubborn and I was grabbing these two cards. Okay, I don't know if to take that as confirmation or not. Let's take that maybe as confirmation. Somebody is going to be very stubborn and maybe a little too prideful when this revelation, I want to say in the workforce, but off the internet. And there's heavy emotions going on here. I really want to say that, remember, we had the devil card, which I said made me feel like somebody was kind of trying to shy away from the spotlight. So I have a feeling, and I'm going out on a limb here to say this, somebody is going to find themselves in a very public situation that they were not prepared for, not necessarily wanting to be in that spotlight when something is going to be revealed, maybe a promotion or something. You're going to get credit for something maybe you didn't think anyone at work noticed you for. Don't forget, we also had that card, the 10 of Wands, which is a card of burdens, and I was kind of attributing it to taking on everyone around you's responsibilities without them really asking. Not necessarily a like, oh, well, you're not doing this very well, I better do it for you. No, no, no. Just a case of, oh, you need time off? Okay, I'll take this assignment for you so that you can spend the weekend off or something. Like, your heart's in the right place type of situation. As I look at these two cards together, I'm almost wanting to say that there's some sort of, dare I say, secret admirer, but not necessarily a romantic secret admirer, more like somebody at work who you're like, oh, dude, I really wish I could be more like them. I keep coming back to the idea of this being work-related, career-related. But I was going to say, don't forget we had the Hangman card in the first half of this, which is about self-sacrifice, which that also makes sense with the idea of taking on everyone's burden. Okay, we're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to finish by saying, I think, whoever this is for, you have been working diligently behind the scenes at whatever your work is or whatever your project is, and you're finally going to get some recognition for this that you never thought you'd get, and it kind of makes you feel a little I don't know if I should take the publicity of it, but you earned it, you deserve it. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there because this went way longer than I thought. And until the next video, creeping screams.